The Opel Admiral B, produced from March 1969 to April 1976, was Opel's mid-range offering in the brand's prestigious KAD Kapitän Admiral Diplomat luxury car lineup. Sitting between the more affordable Kapitän B and the premium Diplomat B, the Admiral B balanced performance, comfort and value, continuing Opel's tradition of executive sedans designed for buyers who wanted a bit more than the Kapitän B offered. While the Kapitän B was short-lived, the Admiral B had a much longer production span and went on to become the most successful of the KAD B generation in terms of sales, with nearly 55,876 units produced. The Admiral B was the second car to cease the production of the three, leaving only the Diplomat B behind. Although all three models shared the same body shell and chassis, the Admiral B differentiated itself with enhanced standard features and broader engine choices compared to the Kapitän B, while remaining less exclusive and expensive than the Diplomat. The Admiral B shared most of its dimension with its siblings, retaining the slightly downsized format of the Cat B series compared to the predecessors, as the length now also was 4 meters and 91 centimeters, having a width of 1 meters and 85 centimeters, and having a bit higher of a weight at approximately 1475 to 1530 kilograms. The styling of the car was clean and modern for its time, with a broad grille, dual horizontal headlights and smooth, slightly conservative lines that embodied understated German elegance. Minimal chrome accents and slab-sided bodywork continued the evolution from the A series, aligning with the changes in European tastes towards more restrained design. During the production, the Admiral B also received a few changes, as in 1972, in September, Opel retouched the Admiral's radiator grille with horizontal ribs and the Opel emblem. In April 1976, this dashboard was redesigned with anti-glare instruments, although at the time it was already used for, as we will talk about later, the Diplomat B, but a 4-spoke steering wheel and a modified switch layout was also included in the interior. And the interior was actually beautiful. It offered a premium driving environment with a spacious interior capable of comfortably seating 5 adults. Upholstery ranged from vinyl to cloth, with optional wood grain trim and padded surfaces providing added luxury. And the wide flat dashboard featured a horizontal layout with large instruments and practical switchgear. And some features included power steering, which was standard or optional depending on the year and the trim, a heated rear window, optional automatic transmission, optional air conditioning and radio, and also a floor or a column mounted shift selector depending on the transmission. The cabin emphasized comfort and visibility, with large windows and supportive seating, making the Admiral B ideal for long distance cruising. Unlike the Kapitän B, the Admiral B offered both carbureted and fuel-injected versions of its 6-cylinder engines, as the car only had 6-cylinder engines. No more V8s, just like the Admiral and the Kapitän had in common, as the Kapitän also, for this generation, only used 6-cylinder engines. Just like the Kapitän, the Admiral B also used the 2800S, which was a single carbureted engine with 130 horsepower, 206 Nm of torque, giving the car a 0 to 100 time of 11.8 seconds for the 4-speed manual to 13.5 seconds for the 3-speed automatic. Top speed wise, it was the same as a top speed of 170 for the 3-speed automatic, up to 175 4-speed manual was available. And the fuel consumption was quite high at 13.5 to 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers. You also had the 2800H, with H standing for Hoogleistung, and this basically had 2 carburetors. This engine was also fitted in the Kapitän B and was the most powerful engine within that car, and this had 143 horsepower, 223 Nm, giving the car a 0 to 100 time of 11.2 seconds for the 4-speed manual and 13 seconds for the 3-speed automatic. The top speed also was higher than with the 2800S, as the top speed was 182 km an hour for the 4-speed and 180 km an hour for the 3-speed automatic. And because it was a 2-carburetor engine, the fuel consumption also was a bit higher at 13.5 liters for the 4-speed manual to 15 liters per 100 kilometers for the 3-speed automatic. The engine that the Kapitän B didn't have, which the Admiral B did have, was the Admiral 2800E, which was a Bosch D-Jetronic fuel injection, giving the car more power than the 2800H. It was the most powerful 6-cylinder 2.8 liter that was available by Opel, as that 165 horsepower, 226 Nm of torque, giving the car a better 0 to 100 time of 10.5 seconds for the 4-speed manual to 11.5 seconds for the 3-speed automatic. Therefore also the top speed was much higher than with the 2800H, as for the 4-speed manual this was 195 km an hour, and for the 3-speed automatic this was still very good at 190 km an hour. Fuel consumption wise, it was actually improved a bit because of the fuel injection, as the fuel consumption was for the 4-speed manual 13 liters per 100 kilometers and for the 3-speed automatic was 14.5 liters per 100 kilometers. So it was actually better than the 2800H in all ways. This engine mostly was fitted with a 3-speed automatic gearbox, but also some were fitted with the 4-speed manual. Transmission choices of the Admiral B, as said before, included a 4-speed manual or a new 3-speed automatic, replacing the outdated 2-speed power glide which was previously offered in the Kapitän, Admiral and Diplomat A. With nearly 56,000 units sold between 1969 and 1976, the Admiral B was the most successful of the Cat B models. It struck a fine balance between the modesty-equipped Kapitän B and the luxurious Diplomat B, offering many of the same qualities for a more approachable price. Because it was produced a lot, also the car had some competition, as the Mercedes-Benz W108 and 109 was a competitor offering superior brand prestige and refinement, but also the BMW 25 or 2800 E3, which was Opel's growing rival in executive sedans. And predecessor and successor wise, it was actually pretty straightforward, as the predecessor was the Opel Admiral A, available between 1964 and 1968, which also shared body and components with the Kapitän A and Diplomat A, and the successor was now not a car within the KAD line, as it was somewhat the Diplomat B, but it was effectively replaced in 1978 by the Opel Senator, which took over as Opel's new executive flagship following the end of the Diplomat production in 1977. After April 1976, Opel made a notable production change by discontinuing the Admiral B, while continuing the production of the Diplomat B until early 1977. During this final production phase, Opel repurposed leftover Admiral B body shells for the remaining 6-cylinder Diplomat B models. These cars retained the exterior dimensions and structural characteristics of the Admiral B, but were badged, trimmed and equipped as Diplomat Bs. This strategy was a cost-effective way for Opel to phase out remaining KAD B inventory ahead of the launch of the all-new Opel Senator in 1978. Externally, these late Diplomats were often nearly indistinguishable from earlier Admiral B models, aside the nameplates and trim differences, further blurring the line between the two. As a result, these final Diplomat Bs, built on Admiral shells, are a unique and somewhat rare footnote in Opel's executive car history. The Admiral remained in the range as the 2.8S, 2.8H and the 2.8E with automatic transmission and power steering until April 1976, and after that all versions were subsequently renamed Diplomat, but with the exterior of the Admiral B. Thanks for watching this video. In order to be able to upload more videos in the future, please consider becoming a member on my channel or sending a super thanks on this video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and check out this playlist with many interesting videos covering various parts of the automotive industry, and I will see you in the next video.